Oh yes, legends, how's everybody doing? Let me know if you can hear me. Let's go and analyze the situation here for the price of Bitcoin. We've got unemployment rate coming out right now, slightly lower than expected. Let's analyze the situation here for the price of Bitcoin. Let me know if you can hear me. You cannot see me today, using the camera for other stuff that I cannot talk about. And yeah, let's analyze the situation. Let's go quickly through the comment section here to say hello to the beautiful community that are coming in right away. We did have some news right now kicking in, which is bringing a little bit of volatility. We did have a slight little drop on Bitcoin, but the NASDAQ is getting a really nice pump, as we can see, as this news is kicking in. As you can see, that nice little pump here on the NASDAQ, hitting all-time highs throughout the last few days. Bitcoin struggling right now. Where is Bitcoin struggling is at the naked point of control from this consolidation. We're going to keep it nice and simple and easy for the viewer right now. Where Bitcoin is at a high volume node, a naked point of control that it is kind of struggling. It is wicking here ever so slightly. We did get that resistance. We did drop a few $100s from that naked point of control, as you can see. And it seems like we're having a little bit of a wick here to the upside. We are just ever so slightly beneath that naked point of control, and we're just getting that consolidation. Now, yeah, this price action to the upside, it does look a little bit impulsive. I have to say, it does look quite impulsive. We'll be analyzing the volume here. It does look like a five-wave structure, so I'm a little bit skeptical right now on the possibility of the price dropping down beneath $105,000. That would be the overall target. That would be the ideal scenario to look at the possible WXY structure here, where we are forming a flat, okay? How could we be forming a flat structure here in your Y wave is relatively simple. Well, what we do have is the possibility of forming an ABC flat right over here. Here, we need to count some kind of a zigzag to the upside, which is a little bit complicated. It does look very five-wavy here to the upside, but the overall idea is that we are forming an ABC flat here, all right? Very, very possible still. We are in the target zone for the B wave of the flat to finally finish this very complex W X in a flat and another flat in your Y. Something that looks relatively interesting, because right now this is the moment that you're going to see quite a lot of people quite bullish, because we have broken the simple trend line, right? We got a trend line here from lower highs right there that we had a beautiful retest, as you can see. Let's all jump into longs here and hope for the best and go to all-time high. Yeah, very possible that this could happen without a doubt. We did have a beautiful retest of that lower high resistance, as we can see. But we do have a problem right over here. We do have a problem without a doubt. That is that naked point of control, the highest volume node from this consolidation, which is sitting from this range, and we can see the reaction, guys, on the chart, right? So we are getting some kind of a reaction. We are kind of double topping here. The question is, will we get some steam? We'll be analyzing very carefully how the price has moved from this low to this high right over here, which kind of looks impulsive, which brings us the idea of, hey, what if this was the end of this correction and it's already moon time, guys? Get your moon boots on, because what we're looking at here is for a possible wave 3 formation, and we are just developing our first wave from the third wave, right? So this is what we would be expecting for the bullish case scenario. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think, guys? Because overall, the ABC flat is still without a doubt a possibility, okay? That we have formed our B wave, we are in the formation of the Y wave, and most commonly inside of a flat, you do take out the initial stages, right, of the wave, of your wave B, right? Or the end of your wave A. So that is one possibility. Come back down below $105,000 when we do take a look at the liquidity heat map. Well, there are some signs on the liquidity. We did sweep up significant liquidity here throughout the last 24 hours. When we do take a look at the liquidity heat map, we can see how hundreds of millions of short liquidations, okay, has been happening here throughout the last 24 hours. We do have quite a lot of liquidity beneath $105,000. As you can see, there's hundreds of millions of dollars. So yeah, without a doubt, to the upside, heading to all-time high. Still lots of liquidity, so it's pretty equal, right? When we do take a look at the liquidity, it's pretty equal here in the short distance, right? $1,000 to $2,000. However, when you get down below $105,000, there is more liquidity than heading up to all-time high. It flattens out here, as you can see, heading to 112, 113. Not much liquidity to be picked up here in this range, but a lot to be picked up below $105,000. So we need to consider that scenario. ABC flat is definitely one scenario that could happen. You have your flat scenario in your A wave. This has to be countered some kind of a zigzag. We'll be going through the lower time frame to analyze this situation. Big resistance right now. This is the classic possible trappy zone. It's bullish. We're breaking trend. And if you do dive into complex Elliott wave theory corrective moves, there is a chance to get that rejection and actually get below $105,000, guys, okay? So make sure to leave your moon boots to the side. Maybe put one moon boot on. Just get ready, because all-time high doors look imminent regardless if we do get below $105,000. But you know, it's looking, very interesting for this scenario, right? Get that drop down. Everybody's going to be like, oh, it's been a fake out. What's happened? Right? We were breaking trend. It was looking bullish. Well, when we dive into the complex Elliott wave theory, possible sideways corrective structures, we do have several options. The most obvious option is this one right over here, okay? This was explained yesterday, where we are looking at a double zigzag. Okay, and right, this move over here, over here, over here. We have a running flat, and right now we have this scenario, which is forming the flat for your possible Y wave, okay? However, we need to take into consideration, we know the levels of resistance, pretty clear. This one right over here, we are getting a bit of choppiness, a little local double top. But we need to analyze where are the levels of support, where the price could bounce, where could it form a higher low, because, this scenario does look actually quite attractive, right? And this would be labeling this as your possible wave 1, wave 2, and this is your first wave 1 and 2 of your possible third wave, right? And we are going to be breaking all-time high in the coming days. Let's see how we get these drops. All right, if we do get a little bit of a chilled, bouncy drop here, a little bit of a wedgie structure, some bullish CVD divergence, we can absolutely take into consideration the bullish case scenario, which we are forming our wave 3. So let's go through the comment section, say hello to the beautiful community. Let's get those likes button, get those likes in as soon as possible, because you know what, guys, today, if we do get to 500 likes, there's only 200 viewers at the moment. Well, I'm going to do a giveaway. I'm going to do a giveaway live on stream. I will pick a comment and I'll be giving $500 tether, guys, straight away on stream. I will pick someone, make him a moderator, and I'll be sending him $500. $500, guys. So yeah, let's get those likes rolling in because this is going to be an interesting one. I do have a little bit of news that we can take a look at. Something interesting is that we do have July and August from post-halving years, right? Meaning, okay, 2016 was the halving. The next year of the halving, which was 2017, July and August was in the green. August was actually a pretty green month. As you can see, 65% in 2017. Of course, 2017, we had that massive bull run, okay? But overall, in 2021, also, after the halving in 2020, July and August of 2021 was green, guys. For the moment, July is green. So we are expecting all-time highs. So July and August could definitely stay in the green like the post-halving years that we had in 2021 and 2017. Let me know what your thought is on this right away in the comment section. Legends, greeting from Dubai, my friend. My goodness, I escaped from the heat of Dubai. I am in Spain. It's not much better here in Spain, but Spain is awesome. I like it. I got a nice Vespa motorbike that I can drive around very easily. Beach, mojitos, you get the deal. Get a little bit of rest here, all right? Before going back to Dubai, potentially in the next coming weeks. We will see, all right? We will see. So let me know. We're getting a little bit of an aggressive drop into some relatively bullish news. I mean, non-farm payrolls higher than expected. Unemployment rate is lower than expected. Forecast was 4.2. So, hey, NASDAQ has been having a relatively nice pumpy action here throughout the news. Got a nice green candle to the upside on the NASDAQ, almost hitting all-time high. But this could be a little bit trappy, guys. It could be a little bit trappy here, almost hitting. Yeah, it did hit all-time high, actually. So it could be a local double top, get a correction. Bitcoin is not taking that news too aggressively bullish, okay? Not really too bullish. We are getting that local double top here. This is what happens a lot of the times, guys. How many times do we talk about this where you could be hitting a crucial naked point of control from a consolidation? We've got one right over here, okay? This is just for educational purposes, right? We can hit the level. We get a little reaction bounce, and then we get the wick down to stop all of those longs that are entering here, and we create a double bottom, right? That does happen a lot of the times, and that is kind of what is happening right over here, where you can consider that local double top here when you have this resistance naked point of control, right? This is the double top that we have been creating. That is very, very common to stop out all of those early over leverage short trade positions. Let's go through the comment section. Let's get those likes rolling in, guys. How's everybody doing? I'm going to go through the comment section a lot, guys. I want to listen to my community. Remember that if we do get 500 likes, we will be doing $500 giveaway for a lucky winner, okay? Let's go. Yeah, sound is good. Everything's good. 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽𝗫 here. Absolute machine, guys. Who saw the fight the other day? It was about a week ago. Absolute beast. Here he is in my feed. Let's go and say hello to the beautiful community here. Mako, hit the like button, fam. Only education here. Looking for possible trading setups as well. Well, yesterday, we left the level pretty obvious. It did get a little bit choppy, a little bit double toppy. You take your trading decisions, take your risk management here. And, we give some scenarios that are definitely possible. We're going to talk about the bullish one, guys. The bullish one is still looking very attractive, okay? It could actually only sweep up the lows locally here and actually form, some bullish momentum. So let's see. We'll be talking about the levels, talking about the different scenarios. And, the bearish one looks attractive. What I am a bit skeptical about the bearish scenario is that this movement to the upside actually looks pretty damn wavy, okay? It does look quite bullish. We got an extensive one wave here. You got your third wave right over here, which is not longer than your first wave. That does not need to happen, guys. It does not need to happen. It is fine for the third wave to be smaller than the first wave. However, the third wave does not have to be smaller than any of the waves, right? And in this case, the fifth wave is the smallest, right? So that is totally fine. You just have a 5-wave move up with an extensive wave 1. And this is what is making me a little bit skeptical about the ABC flat here, right? In a B wave, you need 3 waves. There is no way you can have 5 waves. So in this episode, in this live stream, we're going to have to, we're going to look at this scenario, see if there's any way of structuring this as a 3-wave structure, okay? Because we need a 3-wave structure if it is going to be bearish. It does look more 5-wavy, and if it does look more 5-wavy, we need to believe that there is a high chance in forming a higher low here in the next coming hours, right? Let me know your thoughts, guys. Are you feeling bullish or bearish? We can discuss this on the live stream right away as we do say hello to the beautiful community and get those likes rolling in, because there is a giveaway, guys. If we get to 500 likes, we are going to be giving $500 on stream, guys. We're giving the money, guys. Money, life is good, gains are good, so it's time to give back. Time to give back to the fam. So 𝗬cie𝗂𝗿, El Profesor, how are you doing, 𝗬cie𝗂𝗿? Much love to you. Like needs some slap once you tune in the stream. Love people. Yes, sir. God bless you, Legend Andy. 𝗬cie𝗂𝗿, much love to you. I hope you do like the content, the technical analysis, the possible trading setups, understanding the charts, how they move, and looking where the opportunities lie, okay? This is what we do. This is what we try and do best, and give that education to the beautiful community. Umar, hello Andy, my man. Much love to you, my man. Market M, sup Andy in chat. Market M, much love. Let's go. Promise and them. Hello, hello. Simple 3 Jack. LFG. Let's effing go. Hit the like, fam. Maku. Much love to everybody. Eric, hello. RVM3, yes. 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽. Greeting from Italy. Let's go. I'm in Spain. Italy and Spain. Awesome countries. Andy, you're my number 1 when it comes to learning. Absolute legend. Thank you very much for the kind words. Yeah, I do try and keep it informative, explaining the scenarios, and eventually, looking at the charts and saying, this is a level, this has been respected, and you guys can see it, so you can apply it to your day-to-day life, right? The heat here is now brutal, says in Dubai. Yes, this is why I escaped. Don't come back to Dubai. Yeah, I escaped from Dubai for a few weeks, but I am missing Dubai because I have a much healthy routine, as you know, right? Better for trading, better for eating. A lot of paellas here, a lot of different greasy foods that should not be eaten. So I have a much healthy lifestyle in Dubai than in Spain, that is for sure. Liquidity sweep before moving upwards. That is also a possibility. $105,000 does look very interesting. Look at the liquidity of long positions. A lot of people aping into long positions after that break of trend, guys. Remember that we talked about this yesterday. This is not a zone to be extremely bullish, especially when we have that bearish case scenario, okay? We have a bearish case scenario that does look very attractive. However, the movement up, looked quite bullish. So we're going to be discussing that move up here, guys, in the stream to really see if, are we going to form a higher low here and then get the movement up. Preferably, we do get at least to the 50% 618 Fibonacci, and I will be explaining a few tips, guys, to detect that this movement down can be corrective. I'm going to give you a little bit of a tip right over here to really confirm, right, if we do get that movement down. A little steeper pullback would be ideal, okay? And I'm going to explain certain movements that if it does happen, you can actually confirm that this is bullish, and you can get into a long position, not catching the low, but slightly later on, okay? But we need this kind of movement that I will be explaining throughout this live stream, okay? For the moment, it might drop pretty aggressively, and we might be bouncing in a corrective structure. Remember, we do have that ABC flat possibility. It is still very, very possible. We are building liquidity in this area, as you can see here on the liquidity heat map. All right, there is liquidity down below. There's still a lot of liquidity to the upside, but this is a liquidity game, right? We can come up, claim some liquidity in the last 24 hours. We can come down, claim some long liquidations, and then get back up and head up to all-time high, right? So yeah, we'll be analyzing a little bit of the different scenarios here. Easy, simple, few levels that we have on the chart. We are going to try and keep it as simple as possible. But this is the scenario right now, looking at the daily chart, right? We've got that trend line, right? We need that daily close above, right? You might see some people with some very basic, easy analysis saying if we do close a daily candle above this trend line, then it will be looking good to go to the upside. Yeah, we keep it a little bit more complex than that, a little bit more in detail, right? Based on the waves to really analyze, what's the highest probability scenario. But I have to say, this movement to the upside, that there is something bullish about this move, huh? There is something bullish about this move. It does look very five wavy, okay? If this is a five wave structure, preferably we are forming the third wave. What do I mean by the third wave? Well, we can see here that we were analyzing the last few days that we had our first initial pump, our third wave to the upside, shallow fourth wave, which is very common, and then your fifth wave right over here. And this, a perfect ABC flat. We were talking about this scenario since we were trading in this range, right? Which was this one right over here. Okay, the possibility of this scenario, right? You got your A wave, you got your B wave, claim the low, C wave, bounce at the naked point of control. Very, very nice. And then this major rally to claim $109,000. Yesterday, we were quite bullish. It was, I was waiting for a little bit more of a chilled pullback. It would have been better to get into the long position, okay? But, maybe some people already longed here or maybe already aped into the long. They were ready with a add to the position strategy, 1%, stop loss at the low, claiming the highs, target zone. Overall yesterday we were talking about how highly likely it was to get all the way up to $109,000. Who was here on yesterday's live stream? Let me know down below in the comment section, where yesterday we were saying, the probabilities in claiming $109,000 yesterday was extremely likely. Why was it extremely likely? Well, this movement to the downside, this rally over here claiming all of these lower highs was already a bullish sign. If this had to be more bearish, we would want to see, a third wave getting a bit aggressive here, right? Get a bit more of an aggressive move down. If we are going to see an impulse, all of this choppiness did tell us that maybe this is the end of the structure for that ABC flat. This rally was very, very powerful. The amount of liquidity that was created above 109K was absolutely insane, which we did sweep throughout the last 24 hours, as we can see here. Hundreds of millions of dollars of short liquidations here above $109,000. And we were just very, very confident yesterday that the probabilities was actually to get that rally here throughout yesterday, okay? So maybe some of you did get into the long. Maybe you longed the naked point of control. Maybe you longed in the middle of this zone. Preferably, it's nicer to see a correction, right? You always want to try and get into a pullback, but sometimes you get very shallow pullbacks and the price just goes, okay? Let me know in the comment section anybody that managed to profit from this movement to the upside. I'm in a few long positions still, but you're not interested in that. I'm more interested in what you are doing, guys. How are you managing your trading scenarios? Don't back down to $105,000, says CG_Beats. It is definitely an option, okay? We do have that option still. However, I do not like the movement up that we've had in the last 24 hours. This movement looks very five wavy, right? We would have to go to the 15-minute, 5-minute time frame. I do not see a three-wave structure here. It would be a very, very difficult count. Very, very difficult count. It looks very, very five wavy, right? You got the low, and this is already on the 15-minute chart, right? Even 5-minute time frame. To find a kind of a double zigzag, right, would be a little bit difficult. All of the retracement, all of the impulsive moves have been respected. When we do analyze the low right over here from the 2nd of July, we got a first initial leg to the upside with a little bit of a flat structure here, okay? You could count this as a little flat corrective move for your wave 2. Very, very shallow. It is uncommon to see these wave 2s very, very shallow, hitting the 236 Fibonacci or the 382. And then this, does count better as a third wave. Fourth wave, perfect. without overlapping your first wave, which is what you want to see. That is all good, guys. All good here for this to be an impulse. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, right over here. Fourth waves are usually longer than your second waves. Okay, you can see your second wave right over here, which is quite shallow in time. Wave 2s usually retrace more to the 50% 618 Fibonacci area. Okay, so they usually pull back a little bit more aggressive, but it's not always, guys. It's the most common scenario to see a pullback on your wave 2. What is very common is that your wave 4 is longer in time than your wave 2. Okay, that is very, very common to see. And what you want to see here for your wave 4 is not overlapping your wave 1. And you want to see the wave 4 retracing, most commonly in between the 382 and the 50% Fibonacci, which is what it did. 50% 382, nice, hold as support to claim those highs for your wave 5. So yeah, it looks more 5-wavy, right? Most commonly in a retracement, if this is going to be a pullback, most commonly you do get beneath the 4th wave, all right? When we consider basic Elliott wave theory, and I'm just going to get a screenshot here so you guys can see here just based on the education, it is very, very common for a wave C to actually get beneath the wave 4. Okay, very, very common. So we're going to have to see, could this be a quick zigzag corrective move? Well, preferably, all right, looking at Fibonacci time from the wave 1 to the end of wave 5, you want to finish your corrective structure after the 382 time, okay? Most of the waves, okay, preferably, well, most of the times they do cross the 382 timing, all right? This has to be like 90% of the times they do cross the 382 Fibonacci time. So if we are looking at this as an impulsive move, preferably the correction, if we are going to correct and then break out in a third wave and hit all-time high, you would want to finish after the 382 Fibonacci time, okay? This is the left tool right over here. You go to the third tab and you click here, trend-based fib time, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the 6th tab right over here. And when you get the start of the wave to the end of the wave, preferably most of the times the corrective waves do finish after the 382. Most of the times, right? So it's all about probabilities here. And they do usually get to the 1-to-1, or, they can, retrace at this 0.618, but commonly 1-to-1, even 2-to-1 is totally fine, okay? So this would be a very, very shallow pullback in timing if you are going to pump here and suddenly head up to all-time high. It would be very, very rare, okay? So if it is going to be a corrective structure, you would at least get after the 382 Fibonacci time, which is sitting at 12 o'clock Central European time, okay, from tomorrow, right? From tomorrow, yeah. I mean, this is still quite a lot of time. No, sorry, from tonight, my bad. From tonight, would be tonight in about 7, 8 hours from now, give or take. So yeah, it does look more impulsive, this leg to the upside, okay? It would have been nice to see some kind of a 3-wave structure, some kind of a this, and then, a rally to the upside here. If we would have formed something like this in the last 24 hours, and then, you start dropping, it would have been looking much better to get that leg down beneath $105,000. As we did not, is there a way to count this a 5-wave structure? A 3-wave structure, sorry. That is my issue right now, right? From the lows that we did form on the 2nd of July to the highs. Yeah, I don't see it, guys. Let me know if you see it, but I cannot see it. I cannot see a 3-wave structure. We got one peak here, we got one peak here, and we got one peak here, right? Which gives you a 5-wave move. A 3-wave move, regardless if it's a double zigzag or not, gives you 2 peaks, right? And then you would correct down, not 3 peaks, because that gives you a 5-wave structure, which is the situation that we do have right now. So yeah, I'm in a little bit of a bad time. Could there be a way of counting this as a 3-wave structure? Well, I mean, yeah, you would just have to use a little bit of your imagination. Like, right, when you doing Elliott wave theory, when you trying to find something that is not on the chart, it's probably not there, right? It's probably not there. So this is why, when we take a look at this rally to the upside, I'm trying to find a three-wave structure and I can't see it, right? It would have to be some kind of a double zigzag. So, you would use this pump right over here and then this correction and this movement up. This correction very, very shallow compared to this massive pump over here, right? This is like 3 times longer than this first wave. So it's not symmetrical. You usually want to see it quite symmetrical, a 1-to-1 or a 1.236, okay, in extension from wave to wave, not 3 times longer from the previous wave. So if this had to be a ABC and this is your, okay, wave W, this is your wave X, very, very shallow, very quick, and this is your wave Y right over here. You kind of, you can see how it's not symmetrical. The wave Y is extremely longer in timing and price action. It's just not symmetrical enough, right? It's just not symmetrical enough. It doesn't look nice. And if it doesn't look nice, it's probably not that, okay? It's probably not that. So this is actually looking quite bullish. There is more of a 5-waver here to the upside, and it does look quite bullish. All right, so a little bit skeptical on the bearish case scenario at the moment, and really leaning on the possibility that this might be it. Okay, this might be it, just because this movement to the upside has given us new information which does look more impulsive. Okay, it looks more impulsive. Could it be the possibility that it does come down to $105,000, right, in the next 1 to 2 days? It definitely can, okay? We're struggling right now at the naked point of control. We're getting that reaction in the last few hours. So, yeah, a little bit of a battle here, I have to say, right? I've been doing technical analysis now for over 8 years, all right? And I know, many different things backwards and forwards, right? And there is those moments on the chart that you can be in doubt, right? You can be a little bit in doubt. I do have some doubts here. I do see this quite bullish. It counts better as a 5-wave structure. You're breaking trend. Everything. This could be the low. You have the 3-wave movement here to the downside. This does look quite bullish. This is a pretty perfect ABC flat. And now this rally that we've currently had in the last 24 hours does look very 5-wavy, right? So, the leading trend right now throughout the last couple of weeks is bullish, right? However, as we cannot be always only bullish, only very, very bullish. I'm only bullish 100%, guys, 100% bullish. This is not going to get down here. You could not have that mentality, especially when you are trading, because you will obviously put more risk on your beliefs, right? And how many times has that happened to many people, where you just like, it's bullish, it's bullish, it's bullish, I'm long, and then the price really does get a dip and liquidates you, and then you're like, wow, I was not expecting that, right? So risk management is the key in your trading journey. And don't be ever too bullish or too bearish. Always look at the probability scenarios that could happen, and just stay safe, guys. Okay, stay safe. So yeah, there's literally 2 scenarios here right now that are leading the different possibilities because of this information that we have today. All right, in the last 24 hours, right, since the low created here on Wednesday. Because of this information on the lower time frame that looks more impulsive, we need to consider the bullish case scenario, okay? And the bullish case scenario is that we are developing a 3rd wave, and we could be hitting all-time high in the next couple of days even, guys, right? Maybe before the end of tomorrow, right? Maybe into the weekend. So it is definitely a possibility when you do take into consideration the timing and everything, and the waves being developed. If this has to be a finished corrective structure, you've had your initial wave 1 very strong here throughout the last week of June. All right, your nice sideways flat corrective structure, and now you have your initial stages of this wave, all right, which is a 5-wave structure, which does look pretty powerful. We could be correcting and chopping here a little bit, which is definitely one of those options, right? We might get a little bit of a range, a little bit of a dip action here, maybe head to 108K, maybe slightly below. If we chop around, if we are very corrective, very wedgy, very sideways, it could definitely be very, very bullish, because what we could be developing here is the third wave. You got your initial wave 1, wave 2 right over here, finish correction. You got a nice pump, a nice corrective move here with timing, very, very nice. Okay, flat structure. And right now we had a major rally in the last 24 hours that looks more impulsive. With that information, we need to consider that we might be developing the first wave of the third wave, right? The first wave of the third wave is what is being developed in the last 24 hours, meaning that we do have the third wave, right, of the third wave that could be coming in the next 24 to 48 hours, okay? So any shorts should be managed, all right? Not too much risk. I am in a short position, but I'm, managing risk very, very well, very small capital. I just need to hedge against my long positions that are absolutely banging. I got one here that is doing extremely well, and I'm just going to leave this one open because this one might get to $20,000 profit in the next few days if we are counting this bullish case scenario, right? Whoever's still in a long position from this zone, absolutely epic. I have taken profits from this long. I've been hedging. I got one that's hedging against some shorts that I'm taking here, right? That I am actually taking a small little hit. It's just part of the game. But I'll be pissed off with myself if the price does end up getting that drop down at $105,000. I'd rather get stopped out, still have some longs from lower. But if this movement happens in the next 1 to 2 days, then I will be pissed off of not shorting, right? You can short if you manage risk, tight stop losses, low percentage of your capital. And if you have longs from lower, then eventually you are hedging, okay, right? So it's no issue at all. But I do realize that possibility is there. The possibility is definitely there. We are hitting resistance. This is a moment of getting people very, very bullish, right? You on your favorite basic technical analysis channel, they'll be talking about this lower high resistance trend line. That could be the case, guys. There is that bullish scenario on Elliott wave theory. Sweeping up the local lows would be, make more sense, and then get the rally based on a corrective wave 2 to get a slightly deeper pullback. But yeah, this is what we have at the moment, right? So this flat scenario, okay, in your wave W is there. It is there, but the price is looking a little bit more bullish, okay? I have to say, this momentum that we've had in the last 24 hours looks more bullish because it looks more 5-wavy, right? It's not a 3-wave corrective structure. It counts better as a 5-wave impulsive move. That means only one thing, that continuation to the upside looks very, very likely, okay? So let's go right away through the comment section, say hello to the rest of the people that are joining in. Remember that we do have if we do get 500 likes, guys, on this stream, we are doing a giveaway of $500. I will be actually taking some profits and sending some profits, regardless of this exchange or that one. I will be scratching some profits and sending the profits from this long position of $99,000, which we were very confident a few weeks ago, guys, who was following on the channel, that we were like, hey guys, a movement down below 100K, unlikely. We are going to break down aggressively here. I want to get into longs. I want to get into longs in this zone, guys. In this zone, I'm getting into longs. And yeah, I did go pretty heavy on a few longs here. And now just playing around, just a few shorts. I did lose a little bit here on a short position. I got out at a slight loss, just a few $100s away from entry. And you just need to take the chance, right? The problem is if you short here and you have no stop loss and you're getting this rally and you're not having a stop loss and you're adding to position, and then, you're in danger. You're not managing risk. You're not doing things properly. Get out of the market. Don't trade, because you're going to make a right mess. But if you can afford to get into a slight loss, small percentage of your capital, you're hedging, you've got massive longs anyway, you need to take the attempt, right? You need to take the attempt at resistance. You've got tight stop losses. You know, this movement is a 4 or 5 to 1 risk to reward if it does happen. So it's worth the shot, right? I would be pissed off if the price does drop down aggressively between today and tomorrow. And I said, you know, we were at resistance. Okay, the problem is risk management. The main problem for trading for most of the people is risk management, guys. It is risk management. Okay, so make sure to learn your risk management. We do have a nice section in the modules of the Legends trading community that we do talk about risk management. Okay, it's just very, very simple to understand, but a lot of people have demons, right? You have your angel and you have your demon, right? And the demon is always like, you know, bet half of your capital. You're going to make this. You're going to make some massive gains. And then the angel is like, don't do that. There's more trades coming. Risk 1 to 2%. Okay, right? You listen to the angel, guys. Never listen to the demon that is in you, because he will get you wrecked. Let's go. This is more like sale on long. This is more like sale on long. This is now your chance to long. This is not now your chance to long. I mean, it is. If you're scalping, if you are scalping, the momentum is up. The momentum is up. We do have a very 5-wavy structure here. Okay, wave 1 is longer than your wave 3. I'm a little bit skeptical for this to really rocket from this zone. A little bit skeptical. It would be shallow in timing. Fibonacci retracement. A flat structure could be possible. We always need to consider flats. Okay, we've had a 3-wave structure down. This does look like it would want to claim those highs. It does look like it could claim the highs once again. Right. Let's go through the lower time frame here. As we can see, let's take a look at the VWAP. VWAP right now, a little resistance. It does want to break it, the session VWAP. But as we can see, we got the corrective move from this high that we created a few hours ago. We got the movement down. We got a rally. Now this movement down. And now this bounce is actually doing pretty good. So for the moment, we got a 3-wave structure. This rally is really, really getting high. Okay. So could it be the possibility that we do get a 3-wave move up, claim the highs, and then look for the corrective move down to sweep up the lows here quickly to claim some liquidity? And that is where you do form an ABC flat. Very, very possible, guys. Okay, we've had an interesting rally in the last 24 hours. Very, very interesting rally. Okay, just be cautious on corrective moves. All right. Somebody saying here it's your chance to long right now on the pullback. Right, let's just all jump on the train, on the trend. I mean, the trend is your friend. So longs are looking more attractive depending on your trading style. Right, if you're scalping, you want to scalp long your trend. But if you're looking for a possible rejection on the higher time frames, such as myself, you know, I do realize that a rejection is definitely possible, right? Based on the ABC flat here to finish your Y wave, okay? So it depends on what time frame, right? Depends on what time frame to give the chance. Depends on what risk management, right, you do have. But if you're scalping aggressively, well, you want to try and get into these local pullbacks, okay, to possibly claim the highs, right? It really depends on your strategy. I'm having a little bit more of a chilled strategy, right? Which is get into a bit small swing long positions or swing shorts. So yeah, let's go right away through the comment section. We got over 500 people watching. Remember, guys, if we do get to 500 likes, if everybody on the stream right now smashes the like button, there is a $500 giveaway that we could do this right now in the next 30 seconds, okay? And there's not too many comments. I'm just going to do this, and I'll choose somebody. Crypto Princess, how are you doing? Guys, make sure to go and check out Crypto Princess. She's absolutely awesome. I did an interview with her. She does an interview with a lot of different crypto people on her channel. Make sure to subscribe to her channel, guys, Crypto Princess. She would be the winner right now of $500 if we were to get to 500 likes, okay? So very easy. Not too many comments, guys. You do have a high chance to win. Devil, my man, much love to you. Here he is. in the comment section. Interesting question that I did make here to the community. Will there be an altcoin season in 2025? Yes, 70% of people say yes. Guys, I'm in a few groups, okay? This is where I met crypto princes as well. I'm in a few crypto influencers, crypto experts, analytics, technical analysis, traders, you name them, altcoin investors. I'm in several different groups, okay, from all around the world, from the top crypto influencers, and even they are in doubt, guys. Just the other day, somebody asked, okay, with the top guys, okay, I'm not going to give any names. Somebody asked, guys, what do you think about an altcoin season happening? There were so many people that were saying it's never going to happen, guys. And I was actually pretty surprised on some people that are mainly altcoin analysts out there and altcoin shillers, right? I'm not going to give any names. And I'm like, wow, there's definitely going to be an altcoin season right now when even these, crypto altcoin gurus are even saying there will never be an altcoin season. But if I gave you any names, you will be surprised. You would be surprised, but I'm not going to do that eventually, okay? There's no hate on anybody here. I'm not going to say this dude said this dude said that. I'm not going to do that. But so many, famous crypto influencers are actually in doubt right now that there will be an altcoin season. And when that happens, guys, there is definitely going to be an altcoin season at some point in the coming months, okay? We will get that recovery. This is the classic pain, the classic it's over, and a recovery is imminent, okay? It's in cycles, guys. It just moves in cycles. It will come. This won't stay here forever. It won't stay forever in Bitcoin season, right? Could it extend another 1-2 months? Absolutely, but it's not going to stay here forever, okay? Very interesting fact here. The people here right now are not retail. You are early. Retail is not here. Very true, Devil. Very, very true. Very, very true. It's time to get in, guys. I no financial advice, of course. I'm a little bit, you always need to be a little bit skeptical. There always could be a major crash before the event, there might be another 20-30% correction before an altcoin season. And the main reason why, guys, it is simple. I do have some cash still on the sidelines because I am worried about getting a massive stock market crash. The economy is crumbling, some banks failing, whatever that triggers a recession, such as the C19 crash, that could trigger the last major dip where everybody says like, wow, that's it, guys, recession, it's over. But that's the moment when the money printer goes on, okay? Money printer goes on, and that's when you get the major altcoin season and everything season, basically, right? When everybody's a genius season. That is when that happens, okay? And the best example is the C19 crash. That is when we do go back to 2020, all right? Let's get some levels here off the chart that we don't need. That's when we go back here, all right? We were correcting. People were very skeptical on, lots of altcoins were going down here throughout late 2019 and also 2020, some getting a recovery. And then you get this event, the confirmation of a recession. And when that happens and the crash happens and there's massive fear, all right, and you do have the lockdown throughout this period, that is already when everything is recovering, right? Everything is recovering already, but this is the trigger. This is the trigger, and this is the moment that the money printer goes on. The money printer goes on after a major event. So I'm a little bit skeptical about will we go up from this zone, right? Or will we get a crash first? When you see the stock market hitting all-time high, right? NASDAQ, S&P 500, we are at all-time high. I do not like the idea of starting an altcoin season when stock market is at all-time high. I would rather see a crash and, see the altcoin season happening after the recovery. So, we need quantitative easing, right? We need the interest rates to go down very aggressively, and quantitative easing and a major event that just plummets everything by 20-30%, okay, very drastically, even 50% on some altcoins, just the last dip to get everybody wrecked and out of the market and say, I've had it with crypto, to then get the major rally, right? I remember this event so well, guys. I only put about $2,000 on several altcoins because I was heavily invested. It was still my early stages in crypto and trading. And, I was all in already. And I saw my portfolio go down 70%. And I literally had about $3,000 in the bank here. $3,000. I didn't have any spare cash, guys. So I did invest. This was the best, couple of $1,000s that I invested in. But I have more cash right now, so I am ready for a major event, okay? Which is, we kind of all wait for it. I am a little bit invested, a little bit in cash, just ready for whatever could happen, right? Anyway, let's go right away. ICP is one of them, guys, that I do like a lot. I do have some significant ICP in my portfolio. Chainlink is another one that I do have. I'm very, very convinced on Chainlink that it will do well. It will get a nice recovery at some point in the next coming months to at least get above the $30. Same for ICP. I am looking for $20 at least, claim that high at some point, which already will bring a nice, 5x, right? 4x from current price levels. I would be expecting slightly higher, but overall, I'm going to start taking some profits once we cross $20, all right? Leave a moon bag for whatever could happen. Let's go right away. Say hello to the beautiful community. We've got over 500 people. If we get that like button, guys, to 500, we're going to do a giveaway. Oh my goodness, 200, just over 200 likes. It's incredible. People don't want free money. Man, this is the 21st century. It's absolutely insane. You can, many, many characters. It's crazy. Too many TikTokers. Oh my God. If we get to 500 likes, guys, I will literally give $500 right now to somebody, a lucky winner in the comment section. Let's go through the super chat. Andy, do you see a retest on the naked point of control at 107.5K? Thanks. Whew. A retest of the naked point of control. As a backtest, what naked point of control is that? Is it this one right over here? Yeah, as a possible backtest. Well, the thing is, we can see that reaction was getting choppy, a little bit wicky. We did pull back about $1,000, all right, throughout that naked point of control. We did manage to form a higher low. This does look quite bullish, guys. I have to say, this movement does look quite bullish. I am concerned of doing an emergency exit from short, but I'm going to leave it just because it's a small amount, right? And I would be I do think that there could be a high chance that we sweep up this low, all right? Purely based, if this is a 1 2 3 4 5, for this to be a three-wave structure and then we rally here, it would be very rare, very, very rare, just because of the timing. When you do take a look at Fibonacci time, and if this has to be the corrective move to suddenly pump and head to all-time high, unlikely, guys. This is an unlikely scenario. Okay, could you claim the highs? Yes, you could form a flat. Okay, a flat scenario is possible. That's why I'm a little bit concerned of the scenario here hitting the highs and not rallying. A double top here would be a good short setup. If we claim the highs here at 110.3, it would be a good double top to sweep up the lows, and then here would be a good zone to analyze for a long position. Okay, because this movement to the upside does look more bullish. It looks more bullish, but it's realizing where you need to take the trading setups, the best trading setups. And for me right now would be either short on a double top or a long at, sweeping up the lows here, which would be your fourth wave, right? For an expanding flat. So yeah, a little bit of the situation here. Having a little bit of a bad time to count this as a 3-wave structure. I'm sure 𝗬𝗍𝘆 is as well, guys. Let me know, 𝗬𝗍𝘆, in the comment section. Are you feeling more bullish? Do you think that this rally is the first wave 1 of your wave 3 when we do take a look at this scenario? Okay, is this your first wave 1 from your wave 3 where we have a wave 1, 2, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go, guys. All-time high in a big third wave in the next couple of days, entering into the weekend possibly. Let me know, 𝗬𝗍𝘆, what's your thought? Or do you think that this structure, flat structure, is still in play, right? Just with the new information that we have today, it does look very impulsive. I'm skeptical about the bearish case of sweeping up 105k. Very, very skeptical with the information that we do have in the last 24 hours that looks very leading. It's a very leading move, right? High volume on your wave 3 as well, right? Which is everything is, you know, all of the ticks when you consider Elliott wave theory are all of the ticks are good, except for the wave 1, of course, which is longer than your wave 3, but that's okay. It's an expanding wave 1, but the highest volume is in your wave 3 right over here. That's all good. 4, 5, shallow wave 5. Everything is ticking here that this is a bullish move. There could be a scenario that it is there is still a chance that this could correct, okay? This could correct and then take out the high and then come down aggressively. And this would be your B wave. Just because of the timing, this is still a possibility. When we do take a look at the Fibonacci extension from your A wave, right, to the end right over here, we're already hitting the 1.618 extension just about here with this wick. This would be too far away because you need to take into consideration your A wave in the flat, get your Fibonacci extension. Most commonly, your B wave in an expanding flat does get to the 236382, which is the zone where we are at the moment. So where we're getting resistance with a naked point of control. So it kind of needs to reject from this area if we want to consider the flat and take out the lows of your A wave. We almost hit the 1.618 extension, which is very, very rare. Very, very rare for your wave B, okay? 1.618 extension from your A wave. Muy raro, okay, to get as high as the 1.618 extension, which is already decreasing the probabilities for this to be a possible flat structure and sweep up 105k. So probabilities are leading best for the bulls at the moment, guys, and there is a chance that we will not sweep 105k, and we could be heading up to all-time high in the next coming days. Okay, regardless, we are more bullish from this zone. In the last few weeks, we were, we had to long, guys. Anything below 100k, we had to long. Longs had to be taken in this move. There was a nice, long position here. Your naked point of control, right? You could have had a very good risk management here and getting into a long just in the last couple of days. Based on the ABC flat here, okay? But yeah, I have the big long here from this zone from 2 weeks ago, which I'm very, very happy about, let's be honest. So yeah, let's see if we do get that giveaway here. Almost getting to 300. My goodness, that like button really sucks. If we get to 500, guys, we're doing a giveaway. 𝗬𝗍𝘆, yeah, there is a fresh naked point of control at 107. 6k zone. Oh, a fresh naked point of control. Is that from the previous day, I guess, right? Previous day point of control. Fresh naked. Punto de control desnudo, you would say in Spanish. Punto de control. Yeah, this has been a little bit violated as you can see. So yeah, that's from yesterday. A high volume node from yesterday. It has been a little violated. All right, we tried to break above the previous day value area high, getting back below. Yeah, a little bit skeptical on back testing here and going down. When a point of control has been violated so many times, even though it's the previous day one, I don't take it much into consideration as a level. What will be interesting is coming up here, guys. It would be rare to get follow through. It would be rare after this 5-wave move down, up, sorry, to get this shallow 3-wave structure and then, you know, head up to all-time high. Get a major explosion here. It would be a rare scenario, right? Not many times you would see this on a chart, right? Where you have a 5-wave structure, extremely shallow pullback, and then, you know, this is when price is too bullish. When it's too bullish, you would get these kind of events. This has been your 3-wave corrective structure, and that is it, guys, right? You got 5 waves up, 3 waves down. This was it. This was it. This was the ABC. It's rare, but in very bullish environment, it doesn't matter, right? It's been an ABC. That's it, right? ABC. It's shallow in timing. There we're getting the rally here. Getting the rally. We are pumping. We are breaking through. We are breaking through that naked point of control where we did get resistance yesterday. So it is back above. It is back above. It is attempting to move up. This is one scenario that I would be eyeing, okay? A possible swing failure pattern, double top from this high. It would be interesting. There could be also a zigzag. You form a zigzag here and you form a double zigzag. That is also possible, okay? It still could be a double zigzag structure. It could be a flat, okay? It could be a flat scenario. I like better the flat idea because it would be a swing failure pattern from the highs. Just to sweep up the local lows, all right, from the range. It's just a nice little short scalp, and then would be interested in a possible long position here, right? Just because this looks more bullish. But we need to be aware that the price might just take off. It might just take off from here. Maybe. It would be a very shallow in timing ABC movement, right? You can, but it's rare. And when things are rare, you just don't give it the highest probability, right? To this to absolutely moon to all-time high after this movement. So claiming the highs here at 110.3K could be a failed breakout just to get a sweep of the lows and then possibly come back up, because it would be rare to get blast off. This only happens in very bullish environments. But anyway, this is Bitcoin, right? When Bitcoin is very bullish, you might get very shallow 3-wave corrective structure, and it's time for a moon mission here already, right? So it is looking more bullish, guys, than bearish. It's looking more bullish than bearish, right? Let's be honest here. You know, we have been hitting a bit of resistance, but it's all understanding this movement up that looks very bullish. So regardless of a shallow correction in timing or sweeping up the lows, it does look like that we could be heading up here. Okay, so let's go right away. Also, like the flat because of time. That is right, my man Devil. This is something that was I was just discussing, right? And when we do analyze this 5-wave structure to the upside, and we analyze the timing from the wave 1 beginning stages to the end of the wave 5, for this to be the end of a 3-waver and the price to really rocket already here in a wave 3, I mean, only in the most bullish case scenarios, only the most bullish assets would do that. Well, Bitcoin is one of them, so we need to consider that, right? We need to consider that maybe Bitcoin is too bullish. And it's pretty interesting to see that retail is very low at the moment, right? I can see it on the views. I can see it on the sentiment. People don't give a damn right now that Bitcoin is at, $110,000, right? I have that feeling that we'll get to $120,000 and people will just won't give a damn, right? That they've been washed out from all, they've been violated with the altcoins, and they just, throw in the towel, right? Which is, very interesting, of course. So, let's see. I mean, we can only take a look at the 5-minute chart at the moment on Bitcoin. 5-minute chart on Bitcoin. This could be a still, you know, it's either 3-wave down, possible 3-wave up. You could SFP, you could get into the flat scenario, claim the lows. That would be much more of a symmetrical corrective move. Or it could be a complex WXY where you have a 3-wave move at the moment here, 3-wave move up, and you know, you might get aggressive 3-wave down, okay, a double zigzag, sweep up the lows here of the 4th wave, which is very, very common. It doesn't always happen, but it's very, very common to sweep that 4th wave. So maybe a double zigzag, maybe a flat, and you know, blasting off from here to all-time high is an option, but this would be very, very rare to be just the pullback, right, of your wave 2. Very shallow in timing, very shallow in Fibonacci retracement, right, getting the low to the high, just about hitting, crossing the 236 Fibonacci. This only happens in very extreme bullish cases. Very shallow in time compared to all of your wave 1 here. Very shallow in time, very shallow in retracement. So it would be rare, guys, okay? It would be rare that we just blast off here to head to all-time high. But maybe only on very bullish assets. And we are, you know, looking at a very bullish asset, which is Bitcoin. So maybe this is one of those rare scenarios that it just takes off. Go BTC. Let's go. If we are following the M2, then we have M2, where are you? M2, then we have to pump up, hit like people, let's go. Yeah, we have to pump. According to the M2, the global money supply, I haven't checked that out, okay? Like Bitcoin one, I'm going to set some alerts here at the highs to see if we do get that reaction, okay? At the highs, it does look like we can attempt to hit those highs. Let's see if we do get the blast off, or if it's going to form that double top for that flat idea. Okay, I'm a little bit skeptical of the price really blasting off here, but it will be all good. Still maintaining some long positions. I'm happy for all-time high. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, let's take a look at the global money supply on the chart here on Bitcoin. Okay, I didn't put any music today, guys. Maybe people prefer no music on the stream, but there's no music on. There's no face as well, getting a bit more views. So yeah, faceless stream looks better. Apparently I've got an ugly face, so probably do some more faceless streams. Okay, so yeah, let's take a look at the M2 global money supply, right? Let's put it on the chart here, and let's go with a logarithmic would be easier, I think. Okay, let's get these boxes out of the way, and let's fix that M2 global money supply, M2 global global liquidity index. Oh, it's not that one that I want. M2 global, is it money? M2 money, M2 money, M2 global money supply. That's the same one. Which one is it? Global liquidity, M2. Yeah, it should be one of these ones. There we go. There we have it. We have it right over here. So yeah, if we are following this, we can see how it's, you know, Bitcoin's kind of lagging behind of the global M2 money supply. I mean, this did happen back in 2024, where the M2 global supply did rally and Bitcoin was lagging behind, right? And it did rally later on when we got the correction. So, you know, could you say it's the same scenario? M2 global money supply rallying here very aggressively, and it's just lagging behind, just as we had it back in 2024. This is a chart that many have been talking about. Many have been talking about the M2 global money supply, right? Which is, you know, it's just absolutely popping here. and Bitcoin needs to follow. It's just been lagging behind, and you would arguably discuss that we're going to get that extra rally here. Some people are looking at where it is, comparing where it has been topping out with Bitcoin. We can see here how it topped out here and how it topped out here for Bitcoin, how it topped out here, September of 2024, December of 2024, topping out at the same level. And as the global money supply is at $160,000 here, well, is $160,000 on the way in the next coming months, right? Well, you know, there's more to it, but without a doubt, Bitcoin is bullish, and it looks like that the cycle has not finished. Let's go continue through the comment section. Don't worry, mate. What's going on? I've got a few super chats, guys. Got a few super chats. Andy, do you see a retest? Okay, I got that one. 𝗬𝗆𝘆𝗽, my man. Andy will send me the $500 if you don't hit the like. Last chance. Very, very true, my man. 𝗬𝗆𝘆𝗽. I will send the $500 to 𝗬𝗆𝘆𝗽, guys, if we do not get to 500 likes. Okay. Oh, it is. You know, we're over 500 people, so it's very much achievable. People are just very lazy, guys. Very, very lazy to not even smash the like button. Okay, we just go through the TA, the possible scenarios on Bitcoin, looking at the probabilities. Probabilities, you know, do remain bullish. They've been remaining bullish for many weeks here, guys, since we ever created this movement down. Okay, even since we created, you know, this three-wave move to the downside, there was so many three-wavers. I was very bullish with this three-waver. Managed to get into a long position here. SFP, of course, that was already taken profits. But very three-wavy, guys. Three-wavy down. Very three-wavy environment, not only to the upside, to the downside. And if you're three-wavy to the downside, you realize that up is, you know, just a matter of time. This is why, you know, still maintaining this long. You know, this long is definitely worth it to hold till it breaks all-time high on it. You know, on an exchange, I did take some profits, okay, but I am maintaining a significant amount of that long position for all-time high plus all-time high to then take some profits. So anyway, let's continue through the comment section. 𝗬𝗆𝘆𝗽, much love to you, brother. Thank you very much, okay, for the thank you very, very much, my man, for the for the super chat. I'll be sending $500 to 𝗬𝗆𝘆𝗽, guys, if we don't get to 500 likes. Let's continue through the comment section. BTC Rocket, it is. Your TA is amazing, mate. Thank you for everything. Put on mascara. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, TA is TA, right? Proper TA is TA. There's nothing special about it. It's just looking at the levels, risk management. TA and trading is very different, okay? You can be the best technical analyst in the world, but if you don't have good risk management and good trade execution, you could be the worst trader ever, right? You can be the worst trader ever, even though you're the best TA guy, right? It's all about risk management at the end of the day and good trading execution, regardless if it's swing trading, if it's day trading, scalping. So thank you very much for those kind words. Dump to 103K, says Rob. Well, for the moment, it looks very bullish. The price action is very, very leading. It has a high volume on the movements, right? Especially the lower time frame. You know, this move that we had in the last 24 hours, there's nothing really quite bearish about this move. I have to be honest here. Okay. Yeah, correction here, movement down. There is the chance. There is that chance of coming down. You know, what would be interesting is getting one more wave to the upside here. Then we could count a double zigzag. Then you could count this, ABC, correction here in your wave X, and then another zigzag to the upside. That is possible. That is possible. One more high, and we got a double zigzag situation here. Okay, one more high, and we will have 4 peaks. And if you have 4 peaks and you fail to break out on the next movement up, okay, if you fail to break out in the next movement up and you correct very aggressively, There's either the ABC flat scenario where it actually bottoms out after sweeping up the low and it recovers. That could be bullish. But if you start dropping down very aggressively, losing the levels, then you have 4 peaks. And 4 peaks means double zigzag possibility, right? Double zigzag possibility where you have your first zigzag to the upside in your wave W, your X, and then you have another peak, 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 zigzag to the upside, double zigzag. Then it's possible. But we would need more information. We would need that double top from the local highs. But it seems like it is unstoppable. Let's see how we attempt to hit those highs, guys, from today. But my goodness, this could be it. This could be it, guys, that we do blast off to all-time high if it does get an explosive move. It could be it, guys, where we have a finished corrective structure. This could be the confirmation on this next leg up. If we just blast off here, then this was it, guys. This was the end of the correction. Correction finished. We do have, with new information that we've looked at throughout the last few days, we realized how maybe this is the low. Maybe this is the low. We have the ABC flat. Today we moved in a very 5 wavy for the moment. If we create one more peak, we have a double zigzag situation here. And if we fail on that breakout, this is why it could be an attractive SFP. It could be an attractive SFP. Because if this does fail to break out, there is the potential of coming down below 105k. So, I mean, I don't care if I'm wrong or right on this scenario. I just realize that if we double top locally, there is 4 peaks. And having 4 peaks can create a double zigzag. And a double zigzag here is crucial because it could give us the chance for an ABC flat. In a B wave, you want a zigzag structure. And a double zigzag eventually is a zigzag. So it would be A, double zigzag B, and then smooth down. So regardless if this is going to reject or not, there's 2 chances here. It blasts off or it rejects. If it rejects, it could be very attractive. And there is a target zone. There is a target, which is, I mean, a running flat is a possibility. You could hit the golden pocket, right, and form a higher low. Most commonly, you would sweep up the lows of the A wave here. Most commonly, you would sweep up the lows of the A wave on a flat. So, I mean, regardless if you're right or wrong, it doesn't matter, guys. You're managing risk, but you could be looking at a 5-to-1, maybe 6-to-1 risk to reward. And, you know, and this is where people go all in, right? People that get stopped out, it's because they're risking too much. This is a trade that could play out in the next 24 hours if it rejects from the highs. It doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. You can risk a peanut, guys. Risk 1 peanut to gain 6 peanuts. Hey, you're getting 6 peanuts. Come on. If you lose a peanut, then it's just a peanut, right? Who cares? Right, risk management, guys. You're not going to get rich on one trade. You're very, very likely going to get wrecked on one trade. You can double, triple your account very, very fast in trading, but you will lose it as fast if you're using that amount of risk, right? People that say I doubled my account in a month, and I say it's just a matter of time that you're going to lose it in 1 month. Seriously. So it's math. We have statistics for over 100 years that, you know, over 80% of the traders, you know, do lose money very, very fast, right? They gain fast, but they lose as fast. Ready for short? I love peanuts, says Boeing. Much love to you, my man. Let's get that like button rolling, legends. Long, long, long. Long, long, long. Here we go, guys. We're going to test those highs. Man, if this is the low, we have the potential wave 1 here finished. We have the potential wave 2 finished. I'm skeptical on this pump for it to be corrective. There we go. Alert. Hitting the highs. We are hitting the highs at the moment, legends. Let's see if we do get follow through or we start rejecting ever so slightly. But if we do get follow through here, wow, this could be the wave 3, where you have your wave 1. I would not agree based on timing. But everything looking very, very bullish at the moment. We need the rejection from the local highs to correct down at least to below 8.5k zone. But this could be the follow through. Let's see if we do reject. Let's see if we do reject here, guys. Okay, it would be. This is a very, very shallow wave 2. Very, very shallow in timing and retracement. Not only retracement, also timing. So it's a two of two, guys. If you have a 5-wave move up, and this is your 3-wave correction, it's for a wave 2. It's very shallow. There we are. We're getting the rejection here. We are getting a bit of a rejection from the local highs. You know, this is rare. This is rare for this to be the low for a wave 2 based on timing and based on retracement. But Bitcoin is muy bullish. Bitcoin is muy bullish. So it might just get up there and follow through. Let's see. What is it doing? Is it following through? It wants to. Yeah, it's above those highs. It is above those highs. Let's go through the 3-minute time frame. Yeah, it wants to pop. It wants to go, guys. It wants to go. Got a quick rejection, but it's above that high. Volume kicking in. Let's take a look at CVD. Lots of longs entering the market. Not too many on Bybit. Bybit there a little bit, you know. Got lots of longs here entering on Bybit at the lows. Still wants to go. Yeah. No follow through for the moment. No major follow through from the local highs. Yeah, it could be a rejection. It could be a rejection happening here. Like I said, you know, this is only on very bullish environments. Yeah, it could reject from here, legends. Only in very bullish environments we do get a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then, whoops. It would be rare to get follow through here. Would be very, very rare. Very, very shallow pullback for a wave 2. So it could chop here. It could chop. Let's see. It is above the high. This is the kind of moment you want to see follow through. You want to see a big breakout. You want to see follow through. The moment you start dancing around at the highs. Interesting level. We're not too far away from all-time high, guys. Only $1,500 from all-time high. Very, very close to all-time high. Not too far away. Will it be one of those pivots that does not reach all-time high, right? And you correct down, and then maybe next week we do get to all-time high. But this was just a little fake attempt, right? A little bit of hopium for the bulls out there, and it's not going to quite reach it. Let me know what you think in the comment section. We are right now just dancing here at the highs, the local highs. This would be rare for a wave 2, I have to say. This would be rare based on timing. Based on timing, on retracement, very shallow. Very, very shallow in timing compared to your wave here, your impulsive move. So, yeah, a little bit skeptical here, but we're still maintaining above. No selling pressure, no big major rejection. We're still maintaining above that high. Let me know. Just announced Trump speaking with Putin. What the heck? In the next 10 minutes. I'm in a short right now. Maintain risk, guys. All of those that want to short the pump. I mean, the momentum is up. Upward momentum, as 𝗬𝗏 Mascara says here. Remember, guys, that you do have an insane bonus on weeks, okay? You have the pinned comment here for weeks. Check it out here on the top right, because you do have an insane bonus. The first 100 users, now we've got over 50 users. There's still some left. There's $100 for free on the sign up. You only need an email and a password. And if you link your phone number, you're getting $100, guys, for free to trade on weeks. Look at this. You also have 25% fee reduction on your trades when you sign up, guys. Anybody that's depositing more and trading more volume, they'll be getting massive bonuses as well. It's up to $30,000. Check out the pinned comment here in the top right. Or you do have Bluffing as well. Bluffing or Weeks, great exchanges. You have them down below. Posted on his Truth Social. Okay, he did post on Truth Social that he's having a meeting with Putin. Is that to buy more Bitcoin? Who's going to have Who's going to have more Bitcoin as a country? Russia or the US? Wes, thank you, Andy. Yeah, Bitcoin's bullish. My goodness. Bitcoin's bullish. Shorts should be taken with very good risk management, guys. You know, it's just really, we're not rejecting from the local highs. We are above the local highs. We're just about to get above these highs. There's only one major resistance that we do have left here, which is the naked point of control from this consolidation, which is sitting at 110,800 zone. There's the only level of resistance. This could get a little reaction. Okay, it's a naked point of control that we had here from May. Right, this naked point of control did get a reaction, as we can see. All right, in the last 24 hours, right, we did get a little pullback late last night from this zone. Little pullback of $1,000. Our next major level, we are breaking the local highs, so we need to be aware of the situation, because a double zigzag is still possible. It is still possible for a double zigzag. It is still possible, even though it's looking quite bullish. It's still looking quite bullish. Only bearish case scenario is zigzag, correction on your wave X, and another zigzag, which is, you know, it's not symmetrical at all, but it could be a double zigzag. If it fails, right, you would just have to count this as a double zigzag. And then we have the potential of that flat come back down to 105k. Okay, so we're not kind of out of the woods yet. We're not out of the woods yet here, guys. Not out of the woods just yet. Let's see. I can see some people in the comment section wanting to short the market. Could reject, guys. We could sweep up these lows. This is a very, very uncommon type of retracement to get follow through. Okay, very, very uncommon, very shallow, very, very shallow in retracement and in timing. Very shallow in timing. If this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is your corrective move to blast off, very uncommon to see a shallow and not a more rangy type of pullback, okay, to get follow through. It's uncommon, but It is Bitcoin. You know, it could reject from the local highs, could create a double top. Maintain risk if you are taking any chances here on any shorts. Okay, maintain risk. Don't go all in. Let's go. XRP right now. Is XRP absolutely exploding? Let's take a look at XRP. I know ICP is doing not that well, but I know these kind of altcoins will do well at some point. At some point they're gonna take off. XRP, what's going on? XRP looked bullish regardless. XRP is looking bullish regardless. This is an insanely corrective structure. Insanely corrective. XRP highs here at $3.40 is expected in the next coming weeks, guys. Insanely corrective move. There's nothing more corrective than this. This is very, very corrective, regardless if you take out the low. It's just lots of overlap, no intentions of selling pressure. It's just a correction, wedgie structure, bull flag if you wish, and it's a matter of time that XRP does come up to the highs. So regardless if you take out the low again or not, XRP, somebody's saying it's ready to pop. XRP ready to pop. It could. It could. Bitcoin here just at the highs. Let's see. Let's see. So show appreciation. Hit the like, guys. If we get to 500 likes, we're doing a giveaway. ICP is a joke. Who would even invest in that rubbish regardless of the wave principle? ICP does what ICP wants, similar to XRP. Yeah, I know. These are only speculation, of course. I like the project. TVL is going up. Volume is going up. They are building on it on ICP. You know, I've done a bit of research on ICP, but I also love the charts. This is why I invested. I did a bit of research on the project. But yeah, if it is rubbish or not, I'm targeting $20. There's only one wave up here. Market moves in 3 waves or in 5 waves. From the major bear market and the drop, we got only one spike to the upside and a very corrective move to the downside. So for me, it is expected that at least you take out this high one more time, regardless if you go to zero later or not, right? And it ends up in an ABC, or it ends up in a 3, 4, 5, right? And we do go to higher levels in the coming months. It doesn't matter, you know. I'm targeting this, right? Everything is rubbish regarding altcoins. Well, not everything, you know. There is obviously, you know, real world asset coin projects that look very, very interesting. Tokenization, I think it's an interesting niche, interesting topic for crypto. Chainlink, we've taken a look at Chainlink. We take a look at Chainlink at least 1 or 2 times a week. Short entered, I'm managing risk, says Malik. Much love to you. We are closer to the bottom than a top for altcoins. Any buy is an investment. Very true. Very true. Put on mascara. Very true. Ondo, yeah, Ondo is one of them. Ondo is one of them. Real world asset. I think Ondo. There's big VCs behind Ondo. Regardless if it, you know, they are still speculation, guys. I think we are similar to a possibility of a .com bubble. Okay, that we had in the early 2000s, 2001, and you know, it's all very speculative, right? All very speculative. Remember when we had the .com bubble? Well, I don't remember. I was 10 years old. I wasn't still in the game. But when you take a look at the charts and take a look at the news that happened in 2020 and 2000s. The internet was very speculative. A lot of people were you know, making fun about the internet and all of these people, you know, making all of these websites for their projects, and like, you know, this is going to be a bunch of rubbish. But of course there was a big hype about it, right? This is the future. There was, you know, tech stocks were going up, lots of .coms being created that eventually didn't have a product yet, right? And I think crypto is something, it's like a .com bubble 2.0 kind of situation where it's not going to be used yet, maybe till the next decade, right? Properly used. So anyway, it's all very speculative. I'm changing to Web3 from Exodus with 4.5% fees. Jupiter, can you do low time frame BTC? Low time frame BTC, as mentioned, and this is the 5-minute time frame, right? I'm not going to do the 15-second chart. I think it's pretty pointless. But yeah, like as I mentioned, there is the chance of rejecting from here and claiming the local lows. There is that chance, just because when you have such a momentum like this in a 5-wave structure, when you have a strong uptrend, right? We went from $105,000 to $110,000 in a matter of 24 hours approximately, right? So that is a pretty interesting increase of, 5% almost 5% in 24 hours. That's a pretty nice rally, right? Give or take 24 to 48, right? Depending if where you're looking at the low here. And for the rally to continue after this pullback that we've had in the last few days, it is rare to get a wave 2, right, or a corrective wave that is this shallow in timing. Okay, it is shallow in timing and retracement. But it's not impossible, of course. Bitcoin's very, very bullish. We have the potential in being in a wave 3 right now, building up a wave 3. If this is your wave 1, this is your wave 2, and this is your wave 3 being developed, maybe it's too bullish. It's too bullish, and we are just getting consistent bullish news as well throughout the last few days and few weeks. We always get bullish news, right? We got this guy saying, "Wow, BlackRock Bitcoin ETF drives more revenue than its S&P 500 fund." Well, I mean, BlackRock has been investing already since the ETF was approved. They did, obviously Bitcoin's close to all-time high. And as this ETF was approved, they did manage to buy Bitcoin at much cheaper levels. So even though S&P 500 is hitting all-time high, the percentage gains are still smaller than what Bitcoin's doing. So yeah, eventually, and this is a matter of time, that it will outperform the S&P 500 by a 5x maybe in a few years at least, right? When Bitcoin gets to 500,000 or 1 million, right? So yeah, BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF drives more revenue than its S&P 500. Nice little interesting talk here that this guy posted on X. Chinese textile company Adintax Group to buy $1.3 billion worth of Bitcoin. A textile company, guys, a textile company to buy 1.3 billion. What about when the banks get in, right? What about when the Federal Reserve gets in? Imagine that. I'm not sure if that is going to be possible, but this is like peanuts companies, right? Suddenly these random companies. I mean, this is a pretty big company, I would assume, eventually, if they're putting 1.3 billion. But you can see the wave. There's news coming out every single day. Every single day you get these random companies, right, from different countries. A textile company buying 1.3 billion, right? Holy moly. When this is a clear sign of adoption. It's just make sure to have some Bitcoin, guys, for the future, because we don't know where the top is going to be. There might not be a top. There's no bottom for the currencies. We know that with inflation, there's no bottom, guys, for currencies. We've seen countries that have been devastated with inflation. Zimbabwe, Venezuela, right? Argentina. It's just there's not a single country does not have inflation, regardless if it's 2% or 10% or 100%. There's no bottom for our, the currencies that we use for a daily base, right? And there's no top for Bitcoin. So it's just, you want to have some for the future, for your future generation, because it's probably the asset that is going to be a revolution. Well, it is being a revolution already, right? Let's go. Bro, they're already in. course they're in, but there'll be more in, huh? When you can see it on the numbers, they're already in. Yeah, they are in, but there'll be much more in, guys. It's Bitcoin still a 1 trillion asset. 2.1 trillion asset. 2.1 trillion. This is still very, very small, right? When you compare it to gold, it's 10 times smaller. So, you know, it could get to half of what gold is easily, right, in the next coming years. Still small, still has lot of upside potential, and there's still lots of different random companies that are just slowly getting in, right? Slowly getting in. So, plus, I agree. Yeah, my man, yeah. Still lots will joining. Still a small asset. Andy, what is your confirmation for an SFP from here and till where can it drop? Confirmation SFP, there's never really a proper confirmation SFP, right? There's never really a proper confirmation. When you get acceptance back beneath a low of a breakout, you know, it's just like this one right over here, right? There's no real proper confirmation. You just need a really, with different analysis. I realized based on the analysis that was being mentioned on the stream that if you do have a 5-wave structure here, which we can pretty clearly see, you know, there is the potential of an ABC flat. There is the potential of a zigzag and corrective move and another zigzag. So yeah, there is the potential moving down. It all depends on your analysis that you've made here, right? And based on this information, you know, I know that a flat is possible, claim the lows at least. A double zigzag is possible, and if a double zigzag, I mean, it's not very symmetrical, but it's still a valid count right now. You do have 4 peaks, and if you have 4 peaks, you can have a double zigzag because it's a zigzag here, correction, zigzag here. Very shallow, not very symmetrical, but you would give it a valid possibility. The flat looks interesting, which would be that 5-wave move up, right? If you have a 5-wave move up and you have a very shallow pullback with not only on retracement but also on timing compared your wave here to the upside from the beginning, it's just a very shallow pullback and very on timing and retracement to get big follow through. I mean, it's right now Bitcoin is at that crucial moment of can it break out very successfully, right? It is rare to see this. You just need to take the shot. There's no real proper confirmation. You got a few wicks here. You know, it's just an attempt. You know, it's just a little bit of risk management, and you know, it's a possibility to make a 3-to-1, a 4-to-1 risk reward to potentially sweep up these local lows, right? Is there a confirmation based on candlestick closing or not? Well, it has to do with your general analysis from the last, you know, from this low to the high, right? And just analyze what kind of waves could be developed. And as we do have the flat possibility, and we also have the double zigzag possibility, you just need to realize that, yeah, this could be an SFP. This could be an SFP, and you could sweep up the lows. Okay, so not only the lows, eventually, if it is a double zigzag, well, we do have the bearish case scenario, right? Which is only local bearish case, which, you know, you have your zigzag 3-wave structure in your A wave, and then this B wave needs to be a 3-wave structure. So this is why when we had the information of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, I'm saying it's not possible. We cannot form a B wave here. It's just not possible because we have a 5-wave structure. But if we do form one more peak to the upside, which we did, then we do not have a 5-wave structure. We have a 7-wave structure. And if you have a 7-wave structure, you have a possibility of a double zigzag where you have your zigzag here, your correction on your wave X, and then another zigzag here for your wave Y, which automatically is a 3-wave structure, right? There's no 7 waves, there's no 7 waves, there's no 9 waves, there's no 4 waves. It's 3 or 5. And obviously on the lower time frame, you will see maybe 7 waves. Well, that's when you need to say it could be a double zigzag, right? Which ultimately ends up in a 3-wave structure. So much thanks for the explanation, brother. I watch you every single day, says 𝗞𝗍. Thank you very much, my man. Much love to you. ICP is pretty impressive from a technical project POV, has a massive team, and things are actually built on it. Entire websites. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's, TVL volume is increasing on ICP. Revenue is increasing. And it's a very small market capitalization compared to the bigger ones, you know, the Binance Smart Chain, right? BNB, all of these different big ones. And, you know, it's worth a shot, in my opinion. It's worth a shot for a possible 5-10x. I'm interested in a 5-10x. I'm not looking, guys, for the 100x's. You know, I'm not really looking on these different altcoins or meme coins or very, very low cap projects that are very sketchy, you know, teams and not a real product behind it. I'm interested in, you know, relatively decent projects, mid-high cap projects that do have the potential in making a 5-10x at least. And you know the probability is on your side when you analyze the charts. If the project looks good, volume is increasing, they are building up websites and all sorts on top. You know, it's a leading in AI, artificial intelligence. All fundamental looks good for ICP. And when I look at the charts for a confirmation as a chart analyst, I'm like, yeah, this looks good. This looks good on the chart. Remember, I don't want to buy the pumps. I don't want to buy the confirmation of this looks good. Oh, yeah, this is great. This is going up. I'm going to buy. Yeah, it's promising. No. I want to buy when it's looking crappy, when it's, you know, everybody's against the situation. And I, like I said, I'm in very big influencer groups, crypto experts. Some of them are skeptical about, you know, there's never going to be an altcoin season. And I'm like, wow, this has to be the ultimate confirmation. Not only retail, but, you know, your favorite crypto guru is actually bearish on altcoins. Well, yeah, that's the trigger, in my opinion. You know, when a crypto guru is bearish, you know, or many of them, that's when you know that the bloodbath has been very aggressive. It's been very aggressive. That's the moment that we are very close to the bottom. Very, very close to the bottom. So, you know, just emotional tips that you could need to take into consideration. Can we get to 400 likes? Yeah, let's go, guys. Let's pump up that like button. Let's go. We were over 600 people watching the stream. Absolutely awesome, guys. Thanks for joining. Thanks for coming up. I'm doing a lot of comment section here, just checking Bitcoin. Really chopping here in this range. Yeah, interesting. What would be very interesting here is if we do correct down, if we sweep up these lows, it will be interesting to see if we do get that, you know, an initial sign of recovery beneath the lows. If it starts breaking down very aggressively, I will be sitting on the sidelines. But interesting little movement up here. We got a possible double zigzag right now, or a flat scenario to really, you know, label this as a wave 1, flat in wave 2 possibly, if not the low is in already, and then really rock it here, right, in that wave 3, you know, in wave 4 and 5 to finish that third wave. We're heading up to all-time high. A little bit skeptical. We are getting a little bit of bullish news, bullish FOMO. The news today, unemployment rate was lower than expected. It was all good. So, you know, a little bit of bullish news. NASDAQ was pumping very nicely. So, yeah, stock market did get a nice reaction based on the news. It's just pumping. New all-time highs just created on NASDAQ, S&P 500 also Here we go. It's just price discovery moving up. No major resistance. We got big expansion targets. Let me just double check here this corrective move on the expansion. Yeah, 1.618 did get. Yeah, there's not real targets here on the expansion. I mean, they could be on looking at Elliott wave theory on the higher time frame, but I haven't done that on the S&P 500. It's just breaking to the upside all-time high, and that eventually does help Bitcoin to go to higher levels. And are you taking a short? I am in a short. I am already in a short. Very good risk management, but it is looking a little bit bullish. Still in the longs from lower. Next major resistance is 110,700 to 800. We've got a naked point of control from this zone. And it's probably the 0.88 Fibonacci, which is probably already hit from all-time high to the low. Yeah, this is where we are at the moment, guys. The 0.88 Fibonacci. 0.88 Fibonacci from all-time high to the pivot low of the range. 0.88 is very well respected. Very well respected level. We're just kind of dancing around here at the 0.88. Muy interesante. Will you be covering altcoins today, Andy? Can you take a look at Algrand? If so, appreciate it. Let's take a look at Algrand for Nikolai. Absolute legend here in the comment section. I remember you because of your profile. I remember you joining some live streams in the past. Let's take a look at Algrand. I do hold some Algrand, guys, in my portfolio. Anybody of interest? I do hold some Algrand in my portfolio, and I do see Algrand. I mean, this is logarithmic. I do see Algrand. Yeah, it does look pretty good. It does look pretty good. Obviously, the only thing that you always need to be a little bit skeptical about is this is a three-wave structure, right? If this had to be the third wave, you obviously did not want to see overlap from this pivot. You had to have follow through. And the only bullish option, which I do think is what is happening here, is a double 1-2. Not too far off, there's not too much different from your second 1-2 here. It's a little bit stronger, but a possible double 1-2 or an expanding diagonal here to reach the highs and then move down is there. You know, I do like the bottom formation here that is happening on Algrand. You know, you have the massive pump and dump. When you do the pump and dumps and you bottom out, guys, that is the moment of interest, right? That is the moment that you do realize that there's more buying pressure interest than selling pressure. Selling pressure here, absolutely. This is the selling pressure. But when you have the pump and dump and you like really start ranging for several weeks, if not months, you do realize that this is the moment that you want to be interested in, right? This is the moment of interest. You want to be part of the rally. Don't be the rally. You want to be already in the rally, right? Don't be part of the rally. Don't be part of the FOMO because you will get hurt. You want to be part of the boring, sideways, it's dead momentum. Be part of this zone. Be part of this zone. Be part of this zone right over here. So, I mean, ultimately, it does look pretty good. It's just boring, guys. You know, very boring price action on Algrand. We ain't going to do any lower time frame analysis. I will do a few altcoin analysis on a stream. Maybe tomorrow. I might get, maybe tomorrow, Friday, it's going to be a chill day. I might get a few altcoins ready on like proper Elliott wave theory and different projections that could happen. But in a nutshell, it does look pretty good. Algrand is one of those altcoins that is an awesome project. That I do see it doing very well in the altcoin season. I think a triple top is possible on Bitcoin, says Malik. A triple top on Bitcoin is possible. Triple top on Bitcoin. Let's get some levels out of the way. Let's clean the chart a little bit. A triple top on Bitcoin. Yeah, you know why a triple top is possible here though, which would still be bullish. It would still be bullish in my opinion. This was discussed on yesterday's stream, where this is a major rally that does look quite impulsive. Okay, very impulsive, high volume in the middle, looks good. Eventually, it did double top. When you see this three-wave structure down, and the possibility of a three-wave structure up, you have the chance in forming an ABC flat. The timing is good on this retracement compared to the impulse, right? When you take a look at the lows of April to the highs of May here, and you take a look at the timing, we crossed the 0.382, even the 0.618 time. It's already good for this to be the low and really take off. But there is still a lot of time. 2 to 1 is very average and normal for a corrective move compared to your wave 1. Making a correction 2 times longer than your wave 1 is very, very normal. It's very common, to see a correction being twice the length of time than your wave 1. I mean, and this is at the end of August. So, when you say, it would be very boring and people are just going to be like, here we go again, right? Double top bear market. But an ABC flat is without a doubt a possibility, only because of the structure that has been developed and the timing that we have left. A lot of time left here. This could be twice or even 3 times longer than your wave 1. So we have a 3-wave move down, and there is that potential of a 3-wave move up. For the moment, we are possibly in the 3rd wave. That can be a C wave. That's what we don't know. Can this wave up to all-time high be a 3rd wave, which eventually would be continuation to the upside with a 4 and a 5, or will it be just a C wave, confirming a possible B wave from the higher time frame to confirm an ABC flat? It's something that could happen. Right? There's no doubt about it. Can't we take a look at gold, please? Thank you, Jorge, my man. Jorge Stefanos. Shall we take a look at gold here from my man, Jorge? Gold. What's going on with gold? Gold has been extremely bullish. But yeah, it's having a little bit of a struggle here for the last few weeks. But yeah, gold has just cup and handle pattern, right? Cup and handle pattern. That target has been overshooted, right? Well past the cup and handle target. What can we say about gold? It's just grinding to the upside. I would have to look at some extensions and some, what possible waves. We just at the 2.618 expansion, from this round accumulation from the last 10 years. This is looking at since the top of 2011. So I would say that gold, it's not the greatest moment to buy gold. I bought in 2019 at 1,400 an ounce physical gold. So I'm happy with that buy. It wouldn't be the greatest moment to buy gold, really. Could it stretch its legs to 4,000 in the next 1 to 2 years? Absolutely. He's just really in a big massive rally. No signs of weakness just yet. But I would have to go through the Elliott wave theory here on gold to really analyze, what leg could we be in, which is going to take a long time. We're not going to do that here on the stream. Ethereum dumping from local high. Ethereum getting a little dump by the looks of things. Well, BTC dominance, that is something interesting that we can take a look at. From local high, just a little bit of a double top situation here. It does look very 5 wavy though, I have to say. Very yeah, still possible where you have a 3-wave move. This last move up is very 3 wavy for the moment, so it could be on the formation of a flat. Yeah, we're not going to do some analysis on Ethereum here. But Ethereum is bullish, right, without a doubt. Bitcoin dominance is still grinding to the upside, but it's a matter of time, legends, that we do pop down, okay? This uptrend will shift at some point in the next coming months, okay? Regardless if we do get to 70% or not on the BTC dominance, there will be a moment that this will break down, right? There will be a shift of speculating from Bitcoin, which is already at higher levels, 120, 130K, that people will be interested in crypto projects to speculate in, right? It's just a matter of time. Not much more, guys. Bitcoin, several scenarios. It could dump from here. It's forming a local double top. We have the double zigzag situation. We have the flat situation, which is taking out the lows. It's an uncommon retracement for here to do this. It's uncommon, okay? It doesn't mean it's not possible. It's uncommon. So this to be a retracement here more in time would be better to sweep up these local lows and get more of a symmetrical, right, timing from the pump corrective move to continue to the upside. And if it were to drop aggressively, then we have the flat situation here that could be still possible. Legends, much love for joining. Remember, if you want to join the Discord or the Telegram, you got the links down below. Join the community on Telegram, first link. You also have the Legends trading community where you have the modules, you have the daily updates from the coaches, and different setups or videos. You have the modules going from basics to advanced, even Tradingview, candlesticks, support, resistance, Elliott wave theory, harmonic. You do have point of control, daily levels, everything to learn, guys, here in modules, step by step in the Discord. And take advantage of the $100 for the first 100 users. There's already 50 users that joined up. There's still a few users left. If you link your phone number, you get $100, guys, on weeks, okay? Take advantage. You only need an email and a password to sign up, and then, of course, claim those bonuses and 25% fee reduction. Bluffing or weeks are both great exchanges that only require an email and a password, and you get those perks by signing up with the links down below. Thank you very much, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's analysis and overview. We do have that chance of dumping here, guys. As mentioned, it would be rare to get follow through from this point. We have the bearish case scenario. This one is invalidated. Still have it there and don't know why. This one right over here. Or the follow through, which we are just developing here. The wave 1, wave 2 correction. And then off we go to all-time high. Thank you ever so much, everybody. Much love to everybody. If I didn't read your comment section, I'm sorry. Thank you very much. We did try it with a like. We'll try tomorrow with a like if we get to 500 likes. Yeah, 70 likes. I don't think we're going to get 70 likes. My like button is very, very slow, guys. Maybe tomorrow, okay? 430 likes. Smash up the like button. If we get to 500 likes tomorrow, we're doing that giveaway, okay? Much love. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.